it's Beck, and today I've got a bit of a new topic for you, and I'm going to be showing you what's in my period kit. Now this is just a small kind of emergency kit that would get you through, or will definitely get me through, the first few days if I'm caught off guard. Now I'm definitely a huge believer in anyone that menstruates having the choice of products they use and what they do and don't do. So this isn't saying you must use this or you can't use that, but this is just what I feel I need to get through the first couple of days if I can't get to a shop or I'm really not feeling up to it. So first off, I'll just show you the case. I have this like kind of velvety zip pouch. It's probably not the best thing just because I feel like it gets really dirty, but any kind of zippered pouch or drawstring bag would be perfect. Now mine is quite big, but I don't know, this is just what I got in here. So I'm gonna just pull the things out and show you what I've got. So the first thing in here is my favorite kind of disposable pad. This is a U by Kotex ultra thin with wings. This might be the overnight one. I'm not too sure just because it's not in a packet, but yeah, it's the ultra thin one that's long. I find these are really good just to wear kind of for a longer period of time or overnight if that's what you need. So I've got one of those. The next thing I've pulled out of here is just a pair of knickers. These are just like a little shorty pair that I've pulled out. They're dark too, which is nice. You know, because there's nothing worse than getting caught off guard and needing to change your knickers or feeling very uncomfortable and you don't have anything to do so. So I just like to keep those in there. The next thing I've got is just a garbage bag. Now you might be thinking that's like a really weird thing. I just have a few little, you know, plastic bag sized ones. This is if there is no sanitary bin. Now, most places here in Australia are pretty good about having sanitary bins, especially in public toilets and school bathrooms and such like that. But if you're at a friend's house and don't feel comfortable putting your used sanitary items in the bin or doing the little toilet paper wrap, this is always a nice thing to just pop it in, tie it up, and then you can either pop it in the bin that way so it's more concealed, or you can pop it back in your purse and dispose of it when you get the chance. So I just have a few of those. Also, again, if you need to take your pants off or change your pants or your knickers or something like that and you don't want to throw them out, obviously this is a good way to store them. The next thing I've got in here is just some Nurofen, and this is the period pain specific one. I don't think you need to have anything that's period pain specific, but this is not obviously a medical thing, so talk to your doctor about pain relief. This is just the Nurofen. Something is nice. I get terrible headaches when I'm on my period, so this is typically what I use that for. Occasionally I'll get bloating or cramping as well, so that's nice to have. The next thing I've pulled out of my little pouch is some Tampax applicated tampons. Now I have 2 in regular and 2 in super. These are the ones with the cardboard applicators, I guess, and yeah, so I have those. I'm not a huge fan of tampons, but I'm often the person in the bathroom that's giving out tampons because I have them and people need them. So I've got 2 of those. I've also got some more tampons. This is just the Libra Click tampon. They're like the ones that it's like in an applicator, but you pull it back and it clicks. And then again, I have one in regular and one in super. The next thing I've got is a pad. This just seems like a regular pad. I really don't even know what brand this is, to be honest. I'd say it's probably like a Kohl's brand or something like that. But it's just like a nice slim, it's like a pretty, it's kind of like a thicker one if I compare it to the U by Kotex overnight one. You can see like it's a bit of a, like this one is obviously thicker, but this one for an everyday regular pad is kind of thick too, so I'm not really sure. But this one has really nice packaging, like it doesn't seem like it's going to be very loud or anything, so that's nice. The next thing I've got in here is a always regular day pad. It's just in the pink packaging. I don't know, they change their packaging so often that I cannot keep up. The next thing I've got in here is another U by Kotex. This is an everyday pad with wings. This is just in the designs one. I like these. They just, like, I'm a bigger girl, and so they just don't feel like they cover me securely enough, but they're good when you're in a pinch. The next one I've got, I'm pretty sure, is an always pad, possibly. I'm not too sure. It is just a very thin few hour regular day pad. Yeah, it's got like little like nice inspirational quotes if that's your jam. I have some more Panadol. This is just so the other one I had was Panadol. Like, this one is Panadol and the other one was Nurofen. So one is ibuprofen and one is Panadol. But yeah, this is just 2 little capsules of Panadol. This is a Femi-Fresh, maybe a Flexi-Fresh, I'm pretty sure. This is a regular all-day pad. It again has wings. I am not the biggest fan of these pads because the wings were in the wrong spot for the knickers that I like to wear on my period, if that makes sense. Like, where the leg cutouts for my knickers are, like, the wings were too far forward or too far back. But this is obviously the last one from a pack that I've used up, and I don't want it to go to waste, so I just popped it in here. The next thing I've got is another U by Kotex. This is a very thick, small pad. So this is better if you have concentrated bleeding or you're going to be wearing something that you don't want shown in the back or in the front. This is kind of just that middle section, but it is quite thick. So if you need extra protection, that is what I'd recommend that for. Next, I have 2 always pads. These are just the regular always pads with wings. Now, I tend to buy longer pads. Like I said, I'm a bigger girl, and sometimes I feel like the shorter pads just don't feel comfortable, and I don't feel like I'm covered enough, if that makes sense. Like, so these are, I tend to buy the nighttime pads or the long pads or the extra pads, but I still like the fact that these are all quite thin. The next thing I've got in here is a bunch of panty liners. So these are all U by Kotex ones, just various sizes from different packets that I've been using, and I've chunked them in here. Now, this is my favorite type of panty liner. This is a Tenor Fresh panty liner. I love this brand. They feel so comfortable. These ones don't have wings. Like I said, it's the panty liner, just that little. These are great for wearing under a menstrual cup or something like that with a tampon as backup. These are all really, really great. And the last thing I've got in here is just a bunch of regular tampons. So I have a few different brands. Some of the Olivia brand, some of the Kohl's brand, and I think some Tenor brand. Yeah, this one's a Tenor. So these are just regular old tampons. Now, I have never really used these, but again, you know, I've got 2, 4, 6, I've got 6 in here. So this is plenty to get you through a few days if the need comes. And that's all that's in my bag. Now I'm just gonna cover it up because this bit here, because it's got like a PUL lining, which is nice because it's kind of waterproof. So if you need to put like a soil pad back in there, it's not horrendous. I'm just covering up the edge here because at some point my mother wrote my name and my phone number on it, which, you know, I'm thinking I probably use this as a pencil case at some point during school or for something like that. But yeah, so just a regular old zip pouch. Now, I would say that this kind of period kit is an emergency period kit and isn't something that I would carry around in my handbag all the time. This is something I would take if I'm going on a night away or a weekend trip or going to camp, something like that where I'm not expecting my period, but because of travel or, you know, new circumstances, you never know what might spring up. And this will definitely get me through I would say probably about a week with, you know, minimal changes, or definitely a few days until I can get to the nearest store. Now, I know that you're thinking, oh gosh, this seems like so much. Now, it's completely up to you. I tend to have a heavier flow that lasts a lot longer than a week. So for me, this is a good amount of stuff. But on the everyday, I typically just carry a few things around in my handbag. So I've been slowly making the switch from these disposable pads and tampons that you're seeing to reusable products, so rumps and amps. If you want a video on that, my journey, my experiences, my thoughts and feelings, just let me know down below, because I'd be happy to document that here on YouTube for you all. But yeah, in my regular handbag, the things that I typically carry is just a menstrual cup pouch, and I've shoved quite a lot in here, including my menstrual cup. So I've just got my pink menstrual cup that I've cut the stem off. This is just a hot care cup. This next thing I've got in here is a few tablets of Milton sterilizers. This is just what I use to sterilize my cup. You know, it's got, you know, you just get in a little bowl and mix it up. The next thing I've got in here is a Libra Get Fresh wipe. If you don't feel comfortable going out from a stall in a public bathroom to rinse your cup, this is nice. Also, this is nice to just freshen up down below when you need to. I've got a few of the Summer's Eve wipes for the same reason, just a different brand. I've got a Tenor Fresh panty liner. Like I said, these are my favorite ones. In fact, I've got two different types. This is the same pad, they just changed the packaging. And then the pouch itself. And typically I will carry around like the container of pads that I'm using. So in here there are 4, you know, it's just the open one. These are the U by Kotex Ultra Thing Super with Wings. They just look like this. These are my favorite pads. They work so well for my shape and my flow and my body. Now I do have some reusable pads, however I've not found ones that work well for me yet and stay in place. So I've been looking at those, and I'm really interested in your opinions and your thoughts. So if you use reusable pads, let me know your favorite brands down below and I'll look into those brands. But as you can see, this is all that I keep in my period emergency kit. I'd love to see what you keep in yours. So if you have a video, link me to it. And I hope you have a good day. I'll see you next video. Bye.